Hello and welcome to another season of Banta with Toni. I have missed you guys and I hope you guys have missed me. It's been a couple of months and it's good to be back. Let's just say that. I hope everybody had a wonderful summer and that, we keep trekking through with life given everything that we have going on right now. So while I was gone, so much happened. So it's only right that when we start out the new season, I'm going to start out with pop culture and then move on to what we're going to be talking about today. So if you're new here and you're not familiar with the format, usually I do like a pop culture section, then we'll have whatever the topic is for this episode, and then I usually share my current book that I'm reading, music, and then we kind of close it out for the week. Okay. Last year, last season. The episodes will come out on Fridays. I haven't decided yet what days they will be coming out, but once I do, I will be sure to let you guys know. So keep an eye out for new episodes. I am also creating more content on all my other platforms, and I'm really trying my best here to manage everything and to be able to let you guys in to get a complete view of who I am and what I bring to the table and what I'm trying to do here. So please support a young African mother, that's trying to do things. Support me. Support me as support yourself. Support everybody. Okay. All right. So the first story is going to be the Tabitha Brown story. I'm sure at this point, everybody has kind of heard about it, but I wanted to talk about it on here because I just could not understand at the time why everybody gave her such a hard time for what she was saying. And I understand the times that we're in. I think the stats is that there's currently about 500,000 African-American women who are unemployed in this current economy. So that's a huge number. We have to be honest with that. And I think that given that whole situation, that a lot of people were more sensitive to anything that somebody is saying that is in any kind of relation with work right now. And then I think obviously it coming from somebody that people perceive as that person's successful, that person cannot relate to the average person, at least that's the perception. I think it made it even more difficult. But did what she say, was that such a terrible thing? No. Because if you watch the video, she was saying like, while you're pursuing your dreams right now, your entrepreneurship stuff is not working. You're not making money like you could be. And instead of you struggling through it, there's nothing wrong with you having a job and still pursuing your dreams, aka what I'm doing right now. you know like we all have dreams, we all have things that we want to achieve, but I guess for me it's like maybe it's because I'm African, but I've always come from that place of like, there are those things that I need to have first in place before I can say, okay, I'm going to lean on this. And even with that, like we always taught to just have something in the back, something else going, because you just never know, especially like when your livelihood and the things that you are wanting to achieve is dependent on somebody else, right? So even with entrepreneurship, yes, you have a lot of autonomy, but your well-being, your being able to pay your bills and everything else is dependent on people coming for your services or buying your products. And if times are hard, everybody's going through it. If you are providing a service or a product that's considered a luxury, it is a tough market right now, because people are trying to just make sure they can do the basic things. And even for some people, that is very difficult. So I think what she was just saying was like, it's not a failure to yourself. It's more of an ego thing. Like she was trying to say, like, let go of your ego, go find a job, go do these things and still pursue your dream. And it might just be a chapter that is in your dream right now. It just might not be working out right at this moment, but it doesn't mean that it'll never work for you. But save yourself some stress and go and collect a job so that there will be, and I think in the video she mentioned like you're driving everybody around you crazy. So like, because you have a strain, you are affecting your loved ones, the environment you're creating, everything else with the stress. That's what the woman was saying. And people had a problem with that. I don't understand it. I totally understood what she was saying. And I still also understood the fact that it was just the timing of the message, that people were just super sensitive to what it was that she was communicating at the time. So I wanted to bring that up because I think that is valid. Dreams are up and down. Like sometimes you try something and it works, and it might work for a season, and then another season it's not working. And that's the human experience, our ability to be able to adjust and say, okay, I tried this, it didn't work, or I tried this, it worked, but right now it's not working. And really being able to let go of the ego of like, oh my gosh, I could never have a 9 to 5. Because you remember when having a 9 to 5 was a crime? Oh Lord. So we're in different times. We're in different times for sure. Rihanna is still very pregnant. Rihanna is still very pregnant, and there's rumor that this time around is going to be a baby girl. So she has 2 boys already. And I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I saw that there was like a ad for the Fenty Puma yesterday, and it was a photo shoot, and she's looking very pregnant. So it's going to be probably any moment now that we get to find out if she's gonna have her little baby girl, or if it's gonna be her and those boys, all of her boys. So I can't wait to see. I mean, if she has a little girl, can you imagine the outfits that she's gonna put her in? Like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be awesome. Cardi B, speaking of pregnancies, Cardi B announced yesterday that she was pregnant and expecting with her current boyfriend. And I saw a bunch of mixed reactions. So there were those who were like, oh my gosh, good for her. And then I saw oh my gosh, Black women, we can't be out here always portraying the story of having 5 different baby daddies and dabbity dab, woo boo, la di la da, woo doo woo woo. And the thing is, maybe it's a fault of mine, but I can see on both sides. Like, either way, somebody's pregnant. Be happy for that person. Like, it doesn't cost us anything, right? So definitely, like, congratulations to her and Stefan Diggs. That's the name of the boyfriend that she's pregnant with. And then the other side of it is like, I mean, that's not how she planned her life. Like, if we want to go to the other argument of, like that comment that I saw, and I guess a lot of people feel that way, like, why is she pregnant again? And now with a different, the woman was married to the person who she thought she was going to build forever with. That didn't work out for her. And then now she finds herself in this place. So, and then it's Cardi B, like, she ain't gonna go through what me and you will be going through. Her child will be well taken care of, just like the other 3. That's why she's out here selling you her albums, okay? I've been loving all of the videos that she's been putting out, to be honest. It's so hilarious. Like the one where she's selling the CD in the streets and she has on like her little slippers. Oh my gosh, hilarious. What was the other one? I even showed my husband, and we were like cracking up about it because I'm just like, this lady is funny. And then I saw the video, the interview she did with Kelly Rowland. So if you haven't seen it, it's available on YouTube. It was done with Spotify. So it's leading up to her album. And it was just pure comedic gold in that video. It was so hilarious. The looks on Kelly's face, because you could just tell like some of the things that Cardi was saying in there, it was not planned, because Kelly Rowland was just like, whoop. Like, I know I'm not supposed to laugh. Like the part where she's like, I'm trying to help out this, and then turn out she wants to sleep with my man, and I'm like, boop, 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 boop. And Kelly's like, Cardi, I know I'm not supposed to laugh. I thought that interview was great. I think like you never would have thought like Kelly Rowland interviewing her, but it worked. And I guess like, they have a relationship, obviously, outside of the media, outside of what people know. But it was just a very, very funny and interesting interview. I haven't watched the interview yet with Gayle King. That's on my to watch list. So I won't speak on that because I haven't seen it. I only saw that one little clip, and then I've been seeing like, obviously she made the announcement on Gayle's show and all of that. So I will have to go and watch that and then probably talk about that in another episode. This was the summer of romance. Pure romance. Pure romance. Pure romance was in the air. Everybody was getting married. What? It was, oh my gosh, it was just lovely. So it started out with Davido and Chioma. They were the first ones done the summer that did that thing, and they were in Miami. They were in Miami, and it was star-studded. Everybody came through. They had their wedding. She had the beautiful beaded gown. I do know the designer, but I don't know why it's skipping me right now. Alanoku Bridal, beautiful gown. The picture where she's wearing like the black suit and then her necklace was going down her back. That was one of my favorite of the pre-wedding ones that they had shared. And they had their beautiful ceremony. Then in between, Toni, so she's a writer and she got married to her boo. She's a British writer. She's a British writer. That I like her. I like the things that she shares on her social media. Sometimes a little bit of a British accent, but I feel like maybe a little bit Jamaican influences there as well. Like, okay, I'm trying to have a British accent, but I know how good it's working out for me. But she was also getting married, so it's like she had her like introduction ceremony. I think her traditional wedding, and then it just so happened around the time that she was sharing some of her pictures, then Temi Otedola. Otedola get dollars. That is like what I was thinking the entire time I was seeing those pictures. I said, Otedola get dollars. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. Like, and let me just say, first of all, so there was this whole discourse online about, this is how you do a wedding that's classic and beautiful and da 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 da. And I guess people were like pinning her wedding against Davido's wedding. So it's not a good thing to compare a wedding because either way, they're both rich people that got married, and we can't even afford neither one of those. So I don't even understand how we could be on the internet criticizing either one when we did not get invited to start with and could not afford either one of them. So they are both of the same class because I saw that where it was like one is no. They both are billionaires in their country. So let's stop playing with that. They both belong to the same class. They just have different taste. And I think that showed through in how they decided to celebrate their marriages. And it's okay for people to have preferences. Like out of the two, I do prefer Temi's wedding because she has like similar, I guess, sentiment, style, like how I would do something. That's how she did it, like to me. But it doesn't mean that like Choma's wedding and Davido's wedding wasn't beautiful either. One thing about Choma's wedding that I liked, whoever gave her the styling point to say do short hair, you deserve a raise. Get out of here. When I saw her and that short hair and the dress I said, okay, correct. She came correct. Because there were other things that I saw that I was like, I wasn't too sure. But when I saw that on that wedding day, you are correct, madam. You are correct. You are correct. And so Temi Otedola's wedding, it was just like how it was done. And the fact that this wedding had happened 3 different locations, we never heard anything about. Like they just went about it in a different way. And I think for a lot of people, that just kind of like brought up things that have been, I guess, percolating and happening like beneath the surface as far as like with how African weddings go. And, sometimes we have equated like the big shows, the more, the extravagance, and we love it. Don't get me wrong. I am a Leo after all. I like the drama. Bring the drama, honey. We love the drama, but it's like that's not all there is. Like, and I think that's what her wedding really brought to the surface was like, how can we do things? The fact that she did have African designers, because I did see some people online talking and saying that she had no African designers. Yes, she did. She did have African designers, but she had Western designers and even an Asian designer creating African attire. And I think that was beautiful. That was out of the box. It was breathtaking, and they did a phenomenal job. But I mean, when you have the correct amount of money, does anybody have a choice to not do it? You could have told them, create me a 10-piece head tie that goes to the, they will do it as long as you can pay. I mean, what is it? So I think some people felt some kind of way because they're like, well, they're African designers. She didn't showcase. I think there are so many people getting married now. Like what I said a few months ago when we were talking about, I think it was about this Sharon Oja wedding, that now people get stylists to do the wedding. And then that stylist is the one contacting all the designers and doing things. I think there are other people who have gotten married that have given exposure, and African designers will continue to get exposure. But I think what this wedding brought to light was like, let everybody do what they want to do. So you don't, I mean, you should. Like I said, she did have some African designers, but you don't have to if that's not what you want to do. But I felt like they both did a good job of showing their heritage. It was no different from when Priscilla and Juma got married, and just everybody's just doing it the way they want to do. And I think for people to have been comparing the two, saying like this one's better, you just as an individual, you're gonna have preferences, and I think it's for me, what I liked the most about her wedding also was that we already know your father is a billionaire. The budget was probably unlimited. I think they said, what, 14 mil is what they spent. But it's the way about that she went about doing everything, just the pure attention to details. And I think that's what I've always liked about Temi Otedola, is like with everything that she does. Even when I used to listen to her podcast that she had with Mr. Easy, that's what he would say. He was like, you guys will see her post a picture and think it's a random picture, but no, this girl has planned everything out that she's putting out. So I think that just shows up, like, even with her wedding planning, like, and that's what I loved about it, the attention to detail, and that idea, like, it doesn't always have to be rah rah rah. And I think for us as Africans, like with what we've been used to, what we see abroad, over here, and I'm sure it's no different back home, especially the Nigerian culture, it's a lot of just the big weddings, the extravagance, the loud, the noisy, and we love it. Like I said, we love the drama, but it's like, somebody came through and did something different. And I think that's what we're going to be seeing moving forward. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of brides choosing to do things their way, as it should be, and not necessarily, oh, because that's what my mom wants. That's what my mom and my sister and my auntie and what do you want? How did you envision your day? How is that going to come to, fruition for you? And yes, you might have to, appease your mom and appease your dad, but the day really is about these two people that are falling in love. And I think, they just kind of reminded us about that. Like, it should always be about the couple and what they want to do and how they want to celebrate their day, and their location of choosing to go to Iceland. That was a place that was sentimental to them. The food that they ate, what they provided for their guests, everything was just so thoughtful. Chioma's as well, when she, I think she had like a pin of her son, the one that passed away. I thought that was beautiful. So to even compare the two, it's like they both had things that were important to them, and they both had, how they wanted their days to be. And that's how both people shared it. You might prefer one over the other, but don't say that this one's great and this one's not. So I'm excited to see what the young brides are going to do. I do want to see a change in certain ways. I know, like back in the day, like the idea of even a court wedding, but from what I'm seeing now, even here in America, that's becoming more of a thing. Like 2 weeks ago, I saw this girl that did a courthouse wedding, and the most beautiful photo shoot. I mean, extravagance and the veil, and even where she got married. I said, that's a courthouse? Oh, Lord, a beautiful courthouse. Where did they do that? Because I don't know if we have any kind of courthouses around here that look like that, but that's a different story. So anyways, everybody and their mama got married in the summer. Toni, the writer, like I said, her stuff was also beautiful. Her and her husband. It's just crazy that it kind of all happened around the time. So it's like one person will post and another person will post. But I was like, yes, give me all the wedding content, all of it. And all the summer brides looked beautiful, and they all incorporated their African their African heritage very, very well. And it was just beautiful to see. I like weddings. I really do. So let's see. Next, pop culture. Is there anything else happening? There's a whole bunch of other stuff that I would never discuss on this show because we're going to keep it light and bright on this side. Okay. So yeah, we'll not be discussing any of that. But it was a good summer. It was a good summer. I think it's going to be interesting to see what else or who has anything for us, because the year is not over. And I know times are kind of dragging on right now, but we need entertainment. So who knows? To next week there'll be a different story, something different that I'm talking about. Like, because I can guarantee there will be something different to talk about. Yeah, I can guarantee that. But anywho, so this summer I decided to take a break from recording. And it was a decision that I did not anticipate coming. In fact, the way I had planned it was for me to continue recording and then take about like 6 weeks off and then start season 3. But I had to listen to my body. There were things I had going on that it was just best for me to just kind of step back, just take a moment, live in the moment, enjoy time with my family, kind of recoup mentally and everything else, because and that's part of like why now that I'm back on, I'm gonna like try to share more of my life, because I have a lot of things going on. And I think I kind of said that. I remember even recording certain days and I would be so tired, and you can hear it through the mic, and I don't want to be in that place again. I don't want to work to the point of like exhaustion and not really taking care of myself. And so it was a break that I didn't plan, but it was a break that was needed. And during that time, I learned lessons. So I only thought it was right that on the first episode back, I'll kind of talk about the lessons that I learned from taking my summer sabbatical break, whatever you want to call it, PTO, you know. So the first thing is listen to your body. I think so many of us, there's a video that will be coming out prior to this podcast coming out, and it's going to be on my YouTube channel, and it's just talking about what to expect out of lovely Toni moving forward, what I'm trying to create here. And one of the things is that the best word to say, because I think in that video I said I stumbled upon it, and it's not that I stumbled upon it, is that it found me. It's like, it's things that I've experienced throughout my life, and as I think of the next phase of my life, and I'm like, okay, how would I want to incorporate the things that I've experienced, the things that I've done into something positive that I can use to impact the world. Maternal and reproductive mental health came up. And I really believe that it is work that I am I'm just passionate about, one, and it's work that is needed, and it's work that's impactful. I think one of the first lessons I learned this summer was listening to your body. And I wonder how many women go through their time here, and you have been made to only think of yourself as a secondary to everything else that you have going on. So, you might be tired, you might be exhausted, you might have some pains and things that you don't listen to because, you have children, you might have a spouse, you might have people who depend on you, and the way our society kind of trains us and wants us to always put ourselves second. And I had to unlearn a lot of things. But one of the big things that I had to learn was this idea, like, I can't be effective. I can't be the best person that I can be if I'm not my best. Like, I can't be a good mom. I can't be a good wife if I'm not at my best. I can't be a good employee. I can't do any of those things if I'm not at my best. So the first thing is listening to your body. There was a story that I read earlier in the year where I think it was a well-renowned lady that had, I want to say, like a catering business or a restaurant or something. And she was always talking about how she's so tired. And one day she went to sleep and just did not wake up. There's so many stories. And I think for a lot of us as African women, if we're going to be honest with ourselves, we have mothers, we have people that are not too far removed from us that we saw working themselves to the bone. And they never complained, or at least we never heard it. And whether we realize it or not, as we are going through life, as we're doing these things, they kind of have set that benchmark for us. I was during the summer. Amicole came out and said that the brand Amicole is no longer gonna exist. I'm so embarrassed to even say it, like, but I had never actually bought any of the Amicole products. But I have friends who have used her. The one product that a friend of mine had used was like her lip oil or something, and she was just telling me about the formula and all of that stuff. But I had never actually tried it because I've gone to Sephora before and I don't go to Sephora often, like once in a while. And I'm the type of person, like, once I know my products, like, I just walk in there, get what I need, get out. Get out. So, I had wanted to try her lip oil, but I never just got around to it. But the brand will no longer be existent. And I remember watching, she was on a podcast with Emma Garde, or is that how you say her name? She's the co-founder of Good American with Khloe Kardashian, and now she has a podcast. And she had the founder for Amicole on there. I don't know why her name is escaping me. Daria, is it her name? Oh my gosh, don't misquote me. Um, but she had her on there, and one of the things she talked about was like she was here working not too long after giving birth, like breastfeeding, doing all these things just recently after giving birth. And one of the things she kept telling herself was she saw her immigrant mother doing the same thing. And that was just normal. And that was just what's expected. And I think for a lot of us African women, I would say, but I'm sure it's true for a lot of us across the diaspora. I think it'll be true for a lot of us that that is a big part of our story. When you come from women who you feel like are superheroes and they did so many great things and they did them so well and they did them without ever complaining, without ever batting an eye, without ever asking for anything, we don't realize how much we internalize that. And so when you start existing and now we are the new adults, now we are the ones carrying on the baton, that we are carrying on what we have seen. And is it good? Is it effective? The answer is no. I suffered from that too. I would always tell myself, like, my parents are still working hard. So what excuse do I have? Of course I have to work hard. I almost believed that there was no other way to achieve anything that I wanted to achieve without it being like such a push and pull and tug and all of that. So it's a unlearning of the mind that has to occur, that has to happen. And I think for a lot of us, whether children of immigrants, people that belong to minority groups, for a lot of us, we're going to see our parents doing things to just make ends meet and for, to just exist. And when we get to these spaces and we achieve things in the next generation, there's almost that sense of guilt there because it's like, how could I waste this opportunity? How could I? My mom did this. My dad did this. They got it. So what is my complaint? And it's like, honey, what did the Nigerians say? Body no be firewood. Oh. Sit down somewhere. Listen to your body. If your body say you need a rest, you need a rest. Relax. Nobody should be judging you. And if somebody is judging you, tell them to go. I beg. Don't come and kill yourself. Not to only you. But it's so true. Like, we have to learn to listen to our bodies, and we have to learn to say, it's okay for me to be exhausted. It's okay for me to be tired. I can't do everything and I can't be everything to everybody. And anybody that's expecting any of that out of me, let's have a discussion because it's just not possible. I can't give you that. Like, and that's okay. Like, that's the first step is realizing that you're the one that's going to set that boundary for yourself and you're the one that's going to enforce it. So taking a sabbatical, taking a break, the next lesson I learned was that sometimes you think taking a break or stopping something is going to like prevent you from achieving a goal to reach where it is you want to reach. But what I learned during this break, sometimes it's going to get you exactly where you need to be. Before I took the break, I probably would have kept on recording my blog my podcast the same way that I was doing, which there was nothing wrong with it because I believed in building up, right? So I knew that okay, I will start off just doing the audio just so I can learn to just be consistent, so I can learn to just keep showing up every week despite anything that I have going on in my life. That was a lesson that I needed to learn. So during that time, it was good that I did that. But it was during the break that I know that, okay, podcasts nowadays, in order for them to grow, there needs to be video. And it was during this break that I had to figure out, how am I going to do this and do it in a way that I can still afford? Because that's the honest truth. I have somebody who who edits the audio, and they will keep on editing the audio. But as far as with the video, I'm gonna have to be the one to edit the videos, and I had to be okay with, how am I gonna put it together? How is it gonna be pieced together? And I couldn't have done that if I didn't take that break to figure out, okay, this is where I want to go. During this break, I have, brainstormed and thought about how I'm going to grow this thing into something that I can be proud of. I wouldn't have done that if I didn't take a break. So, my second thing there is learning that sometimes stepping back, stepping away, taking breaks from things actually gets you faster and closer to your goal than just working yourself up to the bone. Because when you take a break, you're able to step back, gain perspective. Sometimes you're able to see the full picture of something. You can look at the whole thing. But when you're able to step back, sometimes stepping away gives you clarity. So if you are a workhorse, somebody that is, I ain't gonna take no breaks till I'm dead. I used to go to college with somebody that said that, oh, resting, you can rest when you're dead. So this mentality of like, in order for me to be successful, in order for me to get somewhere, I need to work, take no breaks. I'm telling you right now, learn how to step back, learn how to take a break. If you feel stuck, if you feel like you're trying things are not working, chances are you just need to step back away and give yourself time to truly like look at the full picture of something. And I promise you, you'll gain some insights. I did so many things this summer. It was good for me not to think about, oh, what am I going to do with a podcast? During that time, I was on Threads a lot. And again, one of the things that I knew that I have to work on, and it's just by virtue of me being somebody that's a neurodivergent, I have ADHD. So it's the idea of routine. A lot of times that's where I get lost, is in that routine, doing things that I deem to be mundane over and over again. But that is how you build greatness. When you do something over and over again until it becomes second nature, you don't even have to think about it. So that idea of routine. So with Threads, I knew that, okay, I want to be able to build something on there, but I had to get used to the idea of posting every day. And posting, sometimes you don't get anybody to see your post. And then other times you post something and you get 50 likes. And other times you post something and it gets, 1,500 views. I think at this point I have like maybe 208 followers on Threads. And I think I'm sitting at like maybe 45,000 views on my stuff. And I don't know what the likes are. I stopped counting likes for things a long time ago. But either way, I had to build that muscle of just showing up on that platform every day. And I wouldn't have been able to have done that if I didn't take the break during the summer. So again, sometimes taking the break might open other opportunities for you, certain things for you to be able to do. I just got some great news a couple weeks ago. Well, actually, last week. That when I looked at it, I was like, if I hadn't taken the break during the summer, I wouldn't have gotten that. So I just feel like everything just works out like how it should and how God has destined for it to be for you. And don't be afraid of stepping back. If you stepping back away from something means that something doesn't happen for you, then it wasn't meant for you. But whatever is meant for you, it will be there. And that break, I think it was Pastor Mike Todd that was like one of the first people that used to talk about how he takes a sabbatical every year and he does it regardless, no matter what. Like he just steps away. And at the time, like when I heard his message, I was like, okay. And it wasn't until this year when I practiced it for myself, this idea of resting. We need to rest to recharge. You need to rest to be able to like take a deep breath and then propel to the next thing. So I will say this, anytime you're about to like leap into another phase or go into another part of maybe a dream that you have, maybe there are multiple layers, this is step 1, step 2, step 3. I encourage you, if you can afford it, or whether you can afford it or not, make it. where you take a break in between. Like if let's say I've accomplished step 1 now and I'm going to go to step 2, let me take a break so that you can have a chance to kind of sit back and evaluate and say, how did I do with step 1? What could I have done better? What could I change? So that when you're going on to the next phase, you can take those lessons from that first phase to put it to the next phase. So I think I wouldn't be here right now recording this video looking as fly as I do. Okay. All jokes aside, I wouldn't be doing it this way if I didn't take that break. I probably would have kept on recording just audio and then be like, what is happening? No growth. And I told myself when I was going on this journey that I have to grow every time. Like every season when I came through, something had to be different, something had to be better, and I had to keep pushing myself. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm so proud of me. So take your break, take your sabbatical, listen to your body. Next one is going to be the future of Banta. And I think I've kind of talked about it a little bit. So I will be having more content on maternal and reproductive mental health, and that will be on my YouTube channel. All my social media is going to be Lovely Toni. So LOVELITONI. I am on TikTok, I'm on Lemonade, I am on Instagram, I am on Threads, and I am on YouTube. So on my YouTube channel, that's really where I'll be making a lot of videos talking about reproductive and maternal mental health. On my TikTok, I like to do a mixture of things, so that will continue the fashion, the home decor. Lemonade is my little area. Like Lemonade is what I feel like Instagram used to be. So it's a lot of pictures still. So sometimes I'll do like my scents of the day because I'm a fragrance girl. I like to smell a certain way. The smell can set the mood. You know what I mean? So Lemonade is for that. I also share home content on Lemonade, but Lemonade is more like my picture collage kind of thing. Nowadays I post some videos and stuff on there. But yeah, that's what I do on there. But really the main thing is I hope that I'm bringing my whole self so that people can see, because I feel like sometimes, when you see the end product or you only see one part of somebody, you don't know all that it takes for somebody to show up and to do the things that they do. So I'm hoping to be more open in that way to kind of let you guys in so you can see, okay, this is my story. And I was having a discussion with my husband and we were talking about certain things, and we were talking about how, in general, sometimes there's only one kind of story, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just hoping that there will be somebody out there who can relate to my story of my way of, I'm somebody who has always done like, things such as like I had a blog before. I've always tried to like do stuff with fashion and all that, but at the same time I have a family and I was always trying to build that, and I've made mistakes and I don't always get it right, and I'm a woman that's neurodivergent and working through all those things, and it's not been easy. Sometimes the road to getting from point A to B is longer for people like me. So I just want to come out here and just tell my story and tell it authentically to me. And hopefully there will be people out there who can relate and they can be like, okay, I want to follow along. But this that I'm trying to grow here, I want to see it continue to grow. My hope is to form a community, to have people who are in a similar space with me, or they look at something that I'm doing and like, I never thought about that, but let me consider it. And I want to be able to have discourse. I like to talk, and I like to Banta back and forth. I'm not at that stage yet with my podcast where I have guests, but I look forward to that. That's one of the areas that I'm going to be growing in, so baby steps. First I was just recording and it was just audio. Today I'm doing video. Next time I'll be having guests. Like I'm committed to this, and I want to see where it takes me, and I want to bring all of me to it so that it's not like, oh, I have this part of me that's hidden, or this part of me that's how I went about it in the past. And it was kind of exhausting for me. So I just want to bring all of me. Like, you're going to see all of me. The Toni that's funny, the Toni that's serious, the Toni that's a mom, the Toni that is a nurse, the Toni that gets tired, the Toni that has faith, the Toni that questions that faith, the Toni that has criticisms, the Toni that gives people the benefit of the doubt, but the Toni that's also going to call them out, all of it. So I hope that you would join me on this journey. and we'll see where we land, where it takes us. I promise we'll have a good time because, hello, it's me. But I just want to say thank you. If you even came back and you started listening again to my podcast, thank you so much. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Those who have been my ride or dies since the beginning, listening to it, wherever you have your podcast, Apple. Last time I shared it, I said, for all the hard time I give to Apple and for them to be the biggest platform where people are listening to my stuff. Hey, life is funny. I'm like, life is hilarious. Like, what? That's the biggest. I'm like, Spotify, come on, do something. But yeah, wherever you're listening to my podcast, the fact that you keep coming back and you keep listening, I am so beyond grateful, and I'm so excited for this season. I have certain plans, but I've learned to also just let life flow. So there are things I have planned, but there are lots of things that I'm just gonna be like, we're just gonna go with the flow. We're gonna see where we land, and that's how it's gonna be. So welcome to season 3 of Banta with Toni. We're gonna do a lot of talk. We're gonna talk. We're gonna banta. But I can't wait. And I'll see you guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye now. Okay, so before I go, I'm going to give my selections for the song and the book. So the book that I'm reading now is Heat. She's the one that wrote. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna look it up so I don't mess it up. I don't mess up the name. But it's a new release. Like it just came out. Oh my goodness. I'll get there. I'll get there. I'm so sorry. I probably should have. Coming back after taking a break. Let's just say that. It is because I have it on my Spotify. Sweet Heat by Bulu Babalola. So it's Sweet Heat by Bolu Babalola. She's the one that did Honey and Spice. I had Honey and Spice on my list, but I haven't read it yet. But the Sweet Heat that just came out. So my book selection is going to be Sweet Heat by Bolu. I'm messing it up again. Oh my gosh. Oh Lord. I will get it. I will get it. I will get it. Yes. Okay. So my current book selection. My current book selection is Sweet Heat by Bolu Babalola. She wrote Honey and Spice, if you read that one. That has been on my list, but I've actually never read it. But this one, I had just gotten the little notification from Spotify that it was coming out. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to read this one before I even read Honey and Spice. So that's what I'm currently reading is Sweet Heat. And then I'm actually reading... And I keep saying reading. My bougie bookie husband makes fun of me all the time because he's like, you ain't reading, you listening. So I am listening to Children of Blood and Bones actually with my kids. So in the mornings, we'll listen to little pieces of it. In the afternoon, like when I'm picking it up, we'll listen to little pieces of it. So that's a longer books, but I'm listening to Children of Blood and Bones. And then Sweet Heat, I'm listening to that by myself because that's not for children. That's not for children, okay? I don't even know. Maybe even the Blood and Bones might have some parts in it. I don't know. But so far, it's just, mythical characterizing. So that's the book that I'm reading right now. If you want to join me along, let's read Sweet Heat by Bolu Babalola. She is a Nigerian girl. Okay. And song. Hey, this one is very hard though. It's very hard. So Charlie Poppy just came out with a new song called Naso. 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 It's the beat. It's the beat for me. Like, I'm like, arrest me. It's a beat. Like, the minute I put that song as the first song on my playlist, every other song that came after needed to have a beat that was just like, it was so sickening, man. I was like, what? Charlie Poppy, Naso, you have done it. You have done it. You have done it. Who are we? Who are we? You have done it. So Charlie Poppy, Naso, and then, oh my gosh, I'm so bad. I'm just going to leave that for this week. Next week, I'll share my other one that's been torturing me. It was so funny because in that Naso song, it totori my body. And the very first time I heard the word totori was when I went to Abuja. And this lady at the airport, she wanted me to speak Creole because I speak Creole. I'm from Sierra Leone. So we speak Creole. But really, if you are Nigerian and you speak broken English, you should be able to understand Creole. But it's just going to sound like a different type of dialect. So I was like, you know what? I'm speaking Creole to these people when I go to Abuja. I do not care. So I was at the airport and I'm just like speaking Creole. And this woman is like, auntie, say another thing. The thing we say right now, they torture my body. They torture my body too much. Which one be that you are? I was like, what? Totori? What the heck is Totori? Oh my God. It's like, it is torturing my body. Oh Lord, it was too fun. I was like, so you want to talk you for you. Now down in she's looking at me like, I'm like, ma'am, it's broken English. It's just, it sounds different. So it is torturing my body. Naso, that song is criminal. Criminal song. So that is my first choice of song for the week. Yeah. And then gospel. What have I even been like? I don't want to give you guys anything old. I know I added some songs. I'm trying to remember what her name is. I think it's Grace. I'll just have to do it next week. I'm so sorry. I'm still. I braked. I took break, so I still have to enter myself inside of things. But yeah, I know her name is Grace, but I'll find it for next week because she does like remakes of songs that we already know, but it's just the beauty of her voice. It's so beautiful. And so I'm sorry that I don't have anything to give you to uplift you this week. Please forgive me. But when you listen to that Charlie Poppy song, that should be able to carry you a little bit. If you're feeling down, just naso. Hey. Okay, guys. I will catch you on the next episode. See you guys later. Bye-bye.